Hi, this is Professor Salazar, and today I'm going to be showing you in Python how you can use lists, how you can create a list, how you can append items to a list, and how you can manipulate a list to show you what you want it to show. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by sharing my screen, and I'm going to be sharing my screen using, I'm going to be showing you Visual Studio Code. And within Visual Studio Code, we'll create a list. So let me first start by sharing my screen. And over here within my Visual Studio Code, I'm just going to create a new file right here. And I'm going to call this list.py. And in list.py, I'm going to create a list. And this could be any type of a list. So for example, let me go ahead and create a list of pets. And I'm going to say pets equals open bracket, close bracket. Okay. Now this is an empty list, but as we go through the code, I'm going to be adding items to this list called pets. And what I can do is I can add the different types of pets in this list, or I can ask the user to enter the different types of pets in this list. But whenever you see a variable equaling an open bracket and a close bracket, that open bracket, close bracket is a list. Now, in other programming languages, this is what you would call an array. Like, for example, if you're working in C++ or Java, and if you ever heard that term before, an array is really just an items in a list. All right. Okay, so let me kind of show you this. I just created a list called pets. And right now, if I print pets, which is my list, of course, it's not going to show you anything once you print this out. But let me go ahead and run it just to show you. Here is my list. And it actually shows you the open bracket, close bracket. All right, so there's nothing really there right now. So I'm not actually going to print out the list just yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the user an option if they want to add items to the list. And let's say, for example, I already know that I have a certain amount of different pets that I want to add to this list. Like, let's say, for example, I'd only want to add 3 different types of pets. Well, what I can do is I can say for I in range 3, for example, I can say, oh, let me put for I in range 3, colon, user pet equals input, enter a pet type. Okay. So right here, it's going to ask the user 3 different times to enter a pet type. And every time that the user enters a different pet, well, I'm going to take that pet and append it to the list called pets. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in pets.append, and in parentheses, I'm going to type in user pet. Okay. And after that loop is finished, which should be 3 different times, I'm going to print to the user, here is your list of pets. And I'll actually do it on a separate line so you can kind of see it better. I'll print pets. So let's see what this looks like when I run this code. Let me save this and let me clear the screen down at the bottom. And I'm actually going to move this a little bit farther up so you can see. It's asking me to enter a pet type. Now I'm just going to enter 3 simple pet types. Dog. And now it asks me again, enter a pet type. I'm going to enter cat. And again, it asks me for a pet type. I'm going to enter turtle. And then after turtle, it says, here is your list of pets, dog, cat, turtle. You see how I did that? Now, what I could also have done is I could have sorted this list before I actually printed it out. So right now it printed it out as dog, cat, turtle, but it's not actually in alphabetical order. If I wanted to put everything in alphabetical order, I could have said pets dot sort, open parentheses, close parentheses. And then after that line on line 7, it actually prints out the pets in alphabetical order. So let me go ahead and clear the screen again. And remember I did dog, cat, turtle. I'm going to run again and I'm going to type in dog, cat, turtle. And after I hit enter, you're going to see that it's going to say, here's your list of pets. But instead of printing dog, cat, turtle, it's going to print out cat, dog, turtle, because that would be in alphabetical order. So let's see the output. Here is your list of pets, cat, dog, turtle. So you see, whenever you use the sort right here, you see that it actually sorts the lists in alphabetical order. Okay. Other things that I could have done is, let's say, for example, we don't know how many pets are going to be added to this list, right? Well, if we don't know how many pets are going to be added to this list, then I do not need to use a for loop. I can use a while loop. So I can say, while something is true, then ask the user to enter a different pet. So I'm going to give the user an option. And I'm going to say option equals yes, in double quotes, because this is a string. So while option is equal to yes, I'm going to ask the user a question if they want to enter a pet type. So this is going to be option equals input. Do you want to enter a pet type? And now as I think about it, maybe this is something that I should ask the user after they've already entered a pet to begin with. So what I'll do instead is up here on line 3, I'll say option equals input. Do you want to enter a pet type? And this will be in the form of a question. And when we go through here, instead of asking the user again for a pet type, I'll put this towards the end after they've already entered a pet type. So I'll do something like this. After I append it, then I'll give the user another option that says, it's sort of like the same thing here. I'm going to say option equals input. Do you want to enter another pet type? Now, at this point, if the user says no, then it's going to break out of the loop. So I'll type in if option is equal to no, in double quotes, then break. So that's one way that it's going to break out of the loop. And by the way, I don't like how it's being shown on the screen here, where after I type in turtle, there's no line in between, like a blank space in between. So I'm going to add an extra blank line by doing a \n right here. Okay. Now, the only way to get out of this loop is if option is equal to no. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's exit. Let me clear the screen and let me run this code again. Now it asks me, do you want to enter a pet type? This is specific to line 3. So I'm going to type in yes. And now it says enter a pet type. And I'm going to type in turtle. Do you want to enter another pet type? This is line 7 running. I'm going to enter cat. Oh, and we did something wrong here, because after I entered cat, it didn't ask me if I want to enter another turtle. It just said, here's your list of pets. And what happened was, I actually made a mistake here. When it asked me, do you want to enter another pet type? I didn't type in yes. So that's why it broke out of the loop, because anything that's going to be inserted other than yes is going to break out of the loop. So what I'll do here is I'll run it again. I'll type in, do you want to enter a pet type? And I'm going to enter yes. I'm going to enter turtle for the first pet. Do you want to enter another pet? I'm going to type in yes. I'm going to enter cat for the second type of pet. Do you want to enter another pet type? I'm going to type in yes. And I'm going to enter dog for the third pet type. And it says, do you want to enter another pet? I'm going to add one more pet type. I'm going to type in yes. And I'm going to say, enter a pet type, fish. And on the 5th time that it asks me if I want to enter a pet, I'm going to type in no. We're going to see that it breaks out of the loop and it displays, here is your list of pets, cat, dog, fish, turtle. And at that point, it's a sorted list. All right. Now, if I only wanted to show cat and dog, right, then I could have printed out something like only print out the index of 0 and 1, because the index always starts at 0 and it moves forward, it increments by 1 every single time. If I only wanted to print out turtle, well, obviously this is the index of 3, because cat would be at the index of 0, dog would be the index of 1, fish would be the index of 2, and turtle would be the index of 3. Now, again, if we wanted to print out the index of turtle, I could have also gone backwards and started with a -1 and kept on going, -2, -3, -4, if I wanted to print that out. So let's say, for example, I want to know if the user actually typed in a tiger as a pet. All right. So what I'm going to do here is right before it actually sorts it and prints it out, or actually, you know what? I'll do this right before it, and I'll type in like an if-else statement. I'll say if I in pets is equal to tiger. Let's see if this works. Print, or another way of saying this would be something like this. If pets I is equal to tiger, print and I'm going to do a format here. So I'm going to do printf well, I'll do this instead. A tiger is not your ordinary pet. All right. So if and only if the user typed in tiger as their pet, then it's going to print out this sentence saying a tiger is not your ordinary pet. Now, this is something that you can add to your to your program just to check if the user typed in something that might not be an ordinary pet. Usually your ordinary pets would be like cat, dog, fish, turtle, maybe a hamster, your ordinary pets, even like a pet snake might be something as an ordinary pet, but a tiger might not be considered an ordinary pet, right? And right now it's underlining the I, showing me that, you know what, there's something that's wrong with this code and it might not actually work as intended. So let me kind of clear the screen and let me run this a few times. Let's see if it actually works. Do you want to append type? Yes. Let's type in dog. Do you want to enter another pet? I'm going to type in yes. I'm going to enter cat. Do you want to enter another pet type? I'm going to type in yes. And here I'm going to enter tiger. If you want to enter another pet type, type in yes. I'm going to enter snake. And if you want to enter another pet type, I'm going to type yes, and I'm going to enter fish. So I purposefully left out turtle here, but I'm going to type no to if I want to enter another pet type. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it didn't like that I in pets.i. And what I was trying to do was I'm trying to see if one of those items in that list is equal to tiger. Now I can play around with this a little bit, but I can say something like, if I in pets is equal to tiger, let's see if that works. So I'm gonna clear that out and run it again. And let's do the same pets. Yes, I want to enter a pet type. Dog. Yes, I want to enter another pet type. Cat. Yes, I want to enter another pet type. Tiger. Yes, I want to enter another pet type. Fish. And no, I don't want to enter anymore. And it still doesn't like that I in pets equals tiger. So there's got to be a way of seeing if one of those pets is actually equal to tiger. And what I'm thinking is maybe I can try this. Maybe I can insert a for loop and say for I in pets, if I is equal to tiger, then print a tiger is not your ordinary pet. So let's run it again. Actually, yeah. I'm going to type yes, enter a pet type dog. Yes, enter a pet type cat. Yes, enter a pet type tiger. Yes, enter a pet type fish. And I'll even do one more. Yes, enter a pet type turtle. And I'll type in no. Well, now it says, here is your list of pets. A tiger is not your ordinary pet. And it printed out the list in alphabetical order. Even though we printed out, we used tiger as a pet, it still inserted it into the list, but it actually printed out to me before it did that, a tiger is not your ordinary pet. Now, what we can do is exclude tiger from the list if it shows up as something in the list. So what I can do then is say, not only am I going to see if tiger is in the list, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove tiger from the list. So the way that you can remove items from a list is by typing in pets.remove. And then I can remove something in that list if it equals tiger. All right. Sort of like that. Let me clear the screen and let's run it again. Do you want to enter a pet type? Yes. Enter a pet type cat. Do you want to enter a pet type? Yes. Enter a pet type tiger. Do you want to enter another pet? Yes. Turtle. Do you want to enter another pet? Yes. Enter a pet type dog. Do you want to enter another pet type? Yes. Enter a pet type fish. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here by typing in no, and it says, here is your list of pets. A tiger is not your ordinary pet, and it excluded it from the list of pets. Right there, because on line 15, I removed it. Okay. So that's something that you can do as far as when you're using Python, you can manipulate lists. You can create a list, you can append to the list, you can remove items from the list. You can also use other keywords like replace. Like if you wanted to replace items in a list, you can do that. You can sort items in a list, and a lot of times they're not always in alphabetical order because items in a list will not always be strings. Like for example, you may have integers in a list or floats in a list, and if you sort them, then they'll be ordered numerically, all right, instead of alphabetical order. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you for today. As far as how to use a list, just know that whenever you're creating a list, it's always going to have that open bracket, close bracket to begin with. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. If anyone has any questions, please send me an email, and thank you for watching this video.